back to my YT channel. This is again, I am a singer eternal voice. Going back to business. Okay, I'm wearing yellow right now. This is not a sign of a political party, but rather I also love yellow color. Okay, actually when I research the definition of a yellow color, this is very, very bad. Okay, it talks about hypocrisy, like that or whatever. So very, very negative. Okay, so it's good to have a color of red, meaning life. Okay, blood running through your veins. Okay, something like that. So love is red, like that, coming from our heart. The sincerity is a red color and also symbolizes bravery, something like that, and principles in life that it cannot be paid by money. Okay, something like that. Hindi siya bayad mula ulo hanggang ingro. Okay, so meaning red color is, for bravery and with principles in life, right? So going back to business, science, vlog, chemistry again. So actually, guys, I'm solving problems here because I was really solving problems in my, you know, BS Chemical Engineering case 20 years plus ago in Cebu Institute of Technology University. Okay, so to be honest with you guys, when I was in college, I really maintained to be in the, in the dean's list, but, in going to the fourth year college and fifth year college, I going a little bit down. Really? Okay. So, not really that down, still in the top 10, but it's becoming now really in the top 5. Okay? It's gonna be like that. Okay, shout out to my classmates also in a Sepok Elementary School in which I graduated my elementary education, and also shout out also to my friends and batchmates, schoolmates in Naga National High School. Okay, and also to my alma mater, Cebu Institute of Technology University, especially to the mentors of CIT University, Engineer Anis Makamalan, Engineer Laida Aguilanoza, like that. Especially mentioned also to my favorite mentor, Engineer Stephen Flores. Hello po. I learned a lot from you when I was in college also. Like that. Okay. And who else? And also shout out to Engineer Timothy Edulantis. Shall we say he's our top one in our batch before, something like that. And I really learned a lot from him also. Okay, because we always converse different topics in our chemical engineering subjects before, like that. And he is very genius. Oh my gosh. Shout out to Lieutenant, okay? Like that. Batchmate. Okay. I have here 6 problems. Okay. It talks about thermochemical equations, energies, and everything. But I want to discuss also here this type of problem. Okay? Like that. So walang katapusan, guys. It will take you to a long journey if you try to dig it out the relevance of the totality of pure chemistry. Okay, okay, like that. Okay, so the prospectus and the curriculum is not enough to study everything about the wonders of science. Something like that. Okay, so this problem, look at it in the whiteboard, mga kalang. Okay, shout out pala sa akong mga kuan, ka-BBM Saura supporters, OFWs, all over the world, and also to my friends, batchmates, schoolmates who are also BBM Saura supporters. Oh my gosh. Okay, mga palangga. Okay, ganon. Okay. So, mag-solve na tayo. Okay, let's forget about politics. Okay, let's go to science. It's more interesting, yeah? Okay. So, anyway, di naman sila nagpakaon sa tuwa, so how we'll survive in this world. We survive our own hard work and efforts. Something like that, okay? So let's go first to the data. have to read again. 100 grams of iron metal with specific capacity of 0.45 joules per gram degree Celsius at 95 degrees Celsius was placed in 200 ml of water at 25 degrees Celsius. What is the final temperature of the mixture? Ganon. Diba? Final temperature of the mixture is gonna be T2, let's say T2, TF, T5 or something like that. Final temperature of the mixture meaning we will receive the same temperature. So the final temperature of the metal will be equal to the final temperature of the water. So this is very clear that there is a heat transfer among the two substances, the metal and the water. Okay? Thermal equilibrium, something like that. Temperature, final temperature. Okay? Since we know already that the transfer of heat starts from the higher temperature to the lower temperature. Okay? Temperature changes or temperature gradients. Oh my gosh. Okay. So solution. Ganon. So we will be using here a heat energy that having temperature changes equation and formulas. This is not stoichiometric because there's no chemical reaction involved. Sure. Okay, so if you try to picture out this is the iron metal. Okay. So I have to draw a container of water like this. So for the purpose of analysis. Okay. So we have 200 of water here. Maklaro yung mga palangga. Di maklaro ang if I'm streaming. But sa YouTube, klaro siya. Okay, guys? Okay. Like that. Oh my gosh, nakakaloka. Okay. Oh, ganon. Klaro na siya. Okay, 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 okay. Like that. So, 200 ml. Ganon. 200 ml of water and then at 25 degrees Celsius. So this is water like that. And then iron metal was placed here. Let's see mo siya ang iron metal. Ganon. So this is the metal. Okay. And then this is 100 grams. Okay. And then specific capacity is 0.45 joules gram degrees Celsius. Diba? Like that. And at 95 degrees Celsius. So this is the initial temperature of the metal. Okay, 95 degrees Celsius. And you have the initial temperature of the water also, which is 25 degrees Celsius. Okay. Am I correct? Okay, what is the final temperature of the mixture? So of course, if you try to dip the iron metal in the water initially, so it will transfer the heat of the metal to the water. Why? Because the metal is hotter compared to the water. So the temperature of the metal is 95 degrees Celsius, whereas the water is 25 degrees Celsius. So we need to say, guys, the metal will release the heat and transfer to the water. So that is our first analysis. Okay, the heat of the metal will be transferred to the water because the metal is hotter than the water, and it is an evidence that 95 degrees Celsius is higher than 25 degrees Celsius. So we can say that negative Q of the metal is equal to the positive Q of the water. Meaning to say, negative, the heat by or from the metal will be released through the water, and the water will absorb the heat from the metal. That's why negative Q is the metal. And the sign here is very important along your calculation. It matters a lot. Okay? So let's compute this. We can compute this by combining or we can compute this individually. It doesn't matter, okay? You get the point? But since the space in my whiteboard is very limited, so I have to compute this individually, right? Okay, so for Q water, okay, like this. I need to emphasize, guys, because there's changes in temperature, you have to use the Q formulas, not the delta H change of reaction or the enthalpy change of reaction, because normally have temperature changes, the mass, like if you don't have like that, then go to the table in the enthalpy change of formation, standard heat of formation of different elements and substances. It's also there. You get the point? Mga palangga? Okay, ganon. So, heat energy or heat content of the water in the process will be equal to the mass of the water. Take note, this 200 ml is not yet the mass. How can we convert that to mass? Something like this. You use the density of water. Okay, so standard density of water at room temperature and atmospheric pressure at sea level. That's what we mean of STP. Again, standard temperature at room temperature and atmospheric pressure at sea level. It's our reference. Okay, it's gonna be like the density of water is 1 gram per ml. Actually, there are a lot, but it depends on the units that we have now here because we have grams. So if you have kilograms also, then we have 1,000 kilogram per cubic meter. If you have pound also, we have 62.43 pounds per cubic feet, like that. Okay, and the rest of the values of the density at standard conditions, then you have to compute that. Okay, something like that through conversions. But it's very easy to use this 1 gram because it is compatible with the units of our problem. Okay, no need to go to other, it's a waste of time, right? Okay, so density is equal to mass over volume. Okay, we compute for the mass. Because in our heat energy equation, we don't need volume. Okay? So it's common sense. So mass is equal to density, 1 gram per ml, times the volume, which is equal to 200 ml. Okay, mga palangga. Then cancel the ml. Then mass is equal to 100 grams. Okay. So, grams of water now. So mass, this is M, CP or we can say also mass times CS, specific heat capacity, times delta temperature. Okay, so we have the mass equal to 200 grams. You can see the board clearly, mga palangga. So 200 grams, like that. A specific heat of water, which is standard, 4.184 joules per gram degree Celsius. Why? Because we are using the joules. Okay, so 4.184 joules, ganon, gram degree Celsius. Then change in temperature, delta change in temperature or dT is just a change in temperature. So we need to say final minus initial. So we don't have final here in the water, as you can see, right? Get the point. So T final minus T initial of the water of 25 degrees Celsius. Okay. Guys, you have to use degrees Celsius because it's compatible with your formula here. Okay, do not use the Kelvin because this is change in temperature, not the capital T. The capital T is not a change in temperature. Okay, like that. It's only Kelvin. Okay. So this is not the same with the PV and RT. Only capital T, the T there. Okay? So like that. Now you have still the TF here as your variable. Okay, so this is Q water equation number 1. Okay? Like that. As you can notice in algebra math or any kinds of mathematics, whether calculus or whatever, you have so many equations, equation 1, equation 2, equation 3, equation 4, so that it can satisfy what you are trying to solve. Something like that. Okay? So you need to find out the degrees of freedom. Okay, the degrees of freedom, you need to say it will match of how many quantities you are trying to answer, and then you have also equivalent formulas to be used. Okay, because it will never be solved if imbalance like that. So many quantities are being asked and you are only using one equation. It's not possible. You have also another equations to back up of what are the particular items you will be able to solve, and then like that only in engineering, something like that. Okay, so that is option one or equation number one. Equation number two, we have the negative Q metal. Okay, negative Q metal. Steps here, guys, you will say Q metal and the negative you will put on the expander, or you will just put the negative here later, something like that. Okay, but for me, I have to eliminate the negative Q here, and I will just put on the expression on the formula later, something like that. So I can negative, ganon. And then the whole thing, parentheses like that. Mass of the metal, iron, is equal to 100 grams. Okay. Okay. Specific heat of the iron metal is 0.45. Okay. As I told you yesterday, guys, the specific heat capacity of all metals are always lesser than the specific capacity of the water. Okay? Something like that. Okay. Gram degrees Celsius times the change in temperature will be T final also of the metal. Okay, which is nothing. Okay. And then the initial is 95 degrees Celsius. This TF, guys, is the one we are trying to solve, and this is the final temperature of the mixture. Meaning, thermal equilibrium of the two substances, the iron metal and the water, and the final temperature is the same for them because they're already mixture of the two. Because you mix the iron inside the container, in which there is water, something like that. Okay. So this is equation number 2, mga palangga. So, since by principle we have here negative Q metal, or the heat of the metal is being released is equal to the heat of the water absorbed by the metal is inequality or equilibrium, then you have to substitute this Q water, Q metal, bring that there, something like that. I have to erase something because my whiteboard is limited in space. I will never be satisfied in my computation. I need a very wide and huge whiteboard for my discussion here. Okay, something like that. Okay, I have to erase this illustration. Okay, like that. And you should be alert also. And sometimes it will be modified like that, but you have to be aware. So, okay, ganon. Okay, so Q metal. So Q metal, negative Q metal is equal to positive Q water. Okay, ganon. Q is heat, mga palangga. Okay. Now, Q metal, we have now the value here. So, will be equation 2 is equal to equation 1. Ganon. So, equation 2 is kaliman siya. So, let's simplify this further. Calculator, please. Okay. Ganon. Okay, mga palangga. Mga hitag ko palangga, welcome to my YT channel. This is all about science vlog. Okay, we don't vlog pa na text kay gubot kaayo. Okay? Like that. So, 100 times 0.45. Guys, ang mga balitis dito yung mabuhi at akong science vlog. We don't love this. Okay? Sa katulad ng mga kuan kahit mga intelligence. So, 100 times 145 is equals to 45. So, diligid mabuhi ang mga chismoso o chismosa sa akong vlogging karon because this is academic information and some of them don't love it because it will really sharpen our intelligence and then you don't like it. Okay? Sakit kayo sa brain cells. Okay? So, 45, like this, 45 minus, and then you times this everything here, like that, okay, minus man siya. And then, 9 times ganun doon siya. This is 45 PF. Okay, distribution, multiplication, guys, mga kapatid. Algebra. Distribution multiplication. This is 45 PF. Okay. This is not talent fee. Final temperature. Okay. Minus 95. Saan sa ito na siya mga palangga. Okay. Shout out pala sa mga academic information lovers, mga GIL Calonia, kay Russia, mga Russia, mga bagitan. Hanapan nila girls sa Rabat. Okay. O mga ano sa mga lovers, science lovers. Marwa Victorino, thank you so much, mga palangga, for passing by my FB live streaming, academic information, okay, science, hello, ilan mga palangga? Okay, now you have to multiply these others, also 95 to these three quantities. How can we do that? So 100 times 0.45 times 95 will be equal to 4,275. Okay, again, 0.45, okay, times 100, mga palangga, okay, is equals to, times 95, okay, is equals to 4,275, okay, 4,275. And then, equal to the Q of water. So, sa water na ako tayo, Q water, this is our Q water. Kani siya. So, magkumpita sa Q water. Kaya na naman tayo metal. Okay? Sa Q water, punta na lang Q water. 200 grams. Okay? So, Q water, 200 grams, mga palangga. Oh, nakakaloka. So, 200 grams times 4.184, okay, is equal to 836.8 mga palangga. This one. So, 836 sa Q water, 836.8. Then, napatay TF variable. So, TF minus 25 this whole thing, okay? So 25 times 200 na palangga times 4.184 is equals to 2920. Okay, this is for the 20,120. This is for equation 1. Substitute that here. This in here. So 836, okay? 8TF, okay, minus 20,120. Okay, 836.8, right? Okay, and then you will try to review if you found out suspicious in the total solved problems. Okay, suspicious talaga. Okay, nakakaloka. So 836.8 na natangas, napasok sa lugar, kuya biyani ko niya. There's no space! Nakakaloka mga palangga! Very small whiteboard. Oh my gosh! Okay! Klaro na! Mali siya. Nakita niyo mga palangga? Gamay kayong mga lyric ako mga sulat. Okay, now we have here negative times 45 TF is equal to negative 45 TF. Okay. Negative times negative, positive. So 4275 is equals to 836.8 TF minus 2920. This is now math, so transposed in mathematics. If you will transfer that here, transfer that here, so it will become negative here. So negative 45 TF plus negative na siya, negative 836.8 TF. Then equal to, so let's say you will not transfer this to 2920. It's okay also. It depends on how you manipulate as long as you can solve the TF. Okay, so this stays negative 2920, and then you transpose this 4275 to the right, this will become negative. So negative 4275. You have to be particular on the sign, okay? Like that. And your eyes is the alert for the sign chuba chuchu. Okay? Like that. So 45 plus 836.8 is equals to 881.8. So negative 881.8 TF is equals to negative also here, right? 2920 negative. So calculator please. Charot. 920 plus 4275 is equals to 25,195. So 25,195. So in this situation, you can cancel both the negative sign. Cancel because it's in the opposite side. So you solve for TF, then divide this by 81.8 and divide also this by 81.8 in math, right? Cancels, so TF remains. So TF is your final temperature. Let's check. Divided by 881.8. 28.57 is your final temperature. TF, final temperature of both the iron, metal, and water is 28.5 degrees Celsius. Okay, this is your answer. 28.57 degrees Celsius is your answer. Okay, now let's prove it. So, let's prove it by analyzing each temperature changes in the system or in the surrounding and the system. Okay. Now, if your iron metal starts with 95 degrees Ti, okay, so the final temperature is 28.57 degrees Celsius. Now, if your water is, okay, starts with 25 degrees Celsius, then it has final temperature of 28.57 degrees Celsius. Take the difference of the temperature between the metal and the iron, the iron, metal, and the water. So, see, the temperature of the metal reduces. Okay, that is up to 28.57 degrees Celsius. You get the point? And the final temperature of the water increases to 28.57 degrees Celsius because it's introduced by the metal, which is 95 degrees Celsius. You get the point? And it will come to a point that there will be equilibrium temperature with each other. This is 28.57 degrees Celsius, 28.7 degrees Celsius. The final temperature of the lecture. Okay. Any questions so far? Actually, this is thermal equilibrium. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, comment down below in the comment section, and you can subscribe my FB page or FB account, and you can also subscribe my YT channel. You can click for the newest updates. I am a singer channel voice. Bye bye, God bless everybody.